ziua, excelența voastră, domnule ambasador, și mulțumesc că ați acceptat să ne acordați acest interviu în contextul în care săptămâna trecută a fost în vizită în țara noastră după 20 de ani ministrul de externe al Pakistanului și în acest context v-aș întreba ce a însemnat pentru dumneavoastră vizita ministrului de externe al Pakistanului, ce înseamnă pentru Pakistan, ce înseamnă pentru relațiile româno-pakistaneze ca și perspectivă de viitor și mai ales ce ne puteți spune despre impresiile pe care vi le-a exprimat domnul ministru de externe după vizita în România.
Thank you very much. Bună ziua, and first of all, I would like to wish you, your colleagues, and the Romanians all around the country and living abroad a very happy New Year and best wishes for the 2022, and also my condolences to the families who lost people due to this pandemic which we are facing. Yes, about the visit of our foreign minister, we were happy that finally we were able to pull this off. I was trying ever since I arrived here. I was trying that there should be high-level contacts between the two sides, political leadership, and our foreign minister had a telephone call with the foreign minister Bogdan Orescu in September, and then followed by a meeting on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly session in New York. And this visit was important from historical point of view also, because in 1960s and 70s and early part of 1980s, we had a very close relationship at every level, at the political leadership level. Every couple of years, some visit was happening. Prime Minister of Pakistan visited Romania in 1975. Before that, Romanian leader visited Pakistan. Pakistani president was here in 1964. And all these visits and other ministerial visits meant that the countries were quite close, and also on the international issues we had similarities of views, which still continues to be so. The trade also was significant between the two countries. At that time there were regular flights between Karachi and Bucharest. A lot of Romanian engineers and their families lived in Pakistan, and they helped us in our industrialization efforts. We expanded the capacity of our national oil refinery to double with the help of Romanian engineers. Also some fertilizers and cement plants were established. So we have a very good basis of our relationship, which is quite strong. And in the visit of the foreign minister, what I see is a reopening of the same level of interaction between leadership of the two countries. We are waiting for now the visit of Foreign Minister Orescu to Pakistan, and then I hope the top leaders will also have an interaction in the coming years, I can see. As far as the visit of Foreign Minister is concerned, as I said, it's a historical visit from the point of view of that it was after a long time that Foreign Minister of Pakistan visited. In 1999, our advisor to the Prime Minister on Foreign Affairs was here, but as far as the Foreign Minister level visit is concerned, it is some, I think 46 years after that we had a Pakistani Foreign Minister visiting Romania. So I'm very happy about it, and it has generated a lot of interest also here. From political perspective, it conveys a signal to the Romania Romanian leadership and Romanian people that Pakistan considers Romania a very important country in the region, in the European Union, and we want to expand our relationship with Romania in every field, in trade, economy, in culture, in education, in science and technology, in defense. You have a good industrial base. Your companies can find a good market in Pakistan. Pakistan is 5th largest country according to population, so it's pretty good market. And also because of China-Pakistan economic corridor and because of special economic zones which are associated with it, Pakistan is a good market for Romanian businesses. Similarly, Romania also is located at a place which is which gives it an advantage, being near to the Black Sea, near to the Middle East as compared to Western European ports. So it can be a hub of transit, not only as a market itself, but also transit of goods to Eastern Europe, up to Central Europe because of Danube River also, and because of the road infrastructure which is pretty good and further developing. So I think from every perspective, from economic perspective, from political perspective, and from society, people-to-people context perspective, I'm very happy that this visit happened, and it has created a lot of momentum to take our relationship ahead.
Domnule ambasador, aș continua cu o temă legată de maratonul evacuărilor cetățenilor străini din Afganistan. Mai ales că ministrul român de externe, domnul Aurescu, a adus mulțumiri în cadrul conferinței de presă de săptămâna trecută, împreună cu ministrul de externe pakistanez, pentru sprijinul esențial, citez, pe care Republica Islamă Pakistan și dumnealui personal l-au acordat eforturilor României de repatriere a unora dintre cei 49 de cetățeni români care au fost evacuați din Afganistan, a unora dintre cetățenii altor state aliate care au fost de asemenea evacuați de către autoritățile române din Afganistan, precum și a 156 de cetățeni afgani aflați în situații de risc în lunile august și septembrie 2021. Ce ne puteți spune în plus legat de acest efort, de acest sprijin logistic, de securitate, acest pod aerian între Islamabad și Kabul, și dacă acest sprijin pe care l-a acordat Pakistanul atât României cât și țărilor care au participat la operațiile militare și nu numai din zona Afganistanului a dus la un alt nivel relațiile externe ale Pakistanului, dacă simțiți o deschidere diplomatică și nu numai în relațiile cu Statele Unite, cu Uniunea Europeană și internaționale.
About the evacuation of Romanian brothers from Afghanistan, as ambassador of Pakistan here, I was also watching the events, how they were unfolding in Kabul. And before even, it's interesting that before even the Romanian side contacted us, I was already in touch with my people back in Islamabad and Romanian embassy in Islamabad, because me personally, I am here in Romania for 1.5 years now, and I have visited I think half of the country, from north to south, from Maramuresh to Teleorman, from Iași to Turnu Severin, and from Constanța to Alba. So and I have eaten a lot of you can say Romanian bread and salt, and for me the people here, they are also my brothers and sisters now. So I was already on it when I was approached by the Romanian side that they needed our assistance, and some of the people back home I personally knew who were dealing with the facilitation efforts, and I made sure that my Romanian brothers and Afghan citizens who were to be evacuated by Romania and some other European Union citizens, they were evacuated in the most expeditious manner and with the least hassles So this was I think Pakistan was doing for a lot of people. I think 53,000 people were evacuated after the events which happened in August last year. Pakistan did it as a principle also to facilitate the international community. And as I mentioned about Romania, it was my duty also, being ambassador of Pakistan in Romania, but also being a brother and friend of Romania, as I mentioned. And this does not end here. I mean, we are happy that United States, European Union, and the international community has appreciated Pakistan for this facilitation. But as you know, the history of this conflict, for over 4 decades, we are hosting some 3 million Afghan refugees. And we have also paid a price for a conflict which goes on in your neighborhood. But we continue to play our positive role, and during the visit also, Prime Minister Chioka, Foreign Minister Oresco, they appreciated Pakistan's positive role in the context of Afghanistan. And recently you might have also read that Pakistan convened an extraordinary session of OIC, Conference of Foreign Ministers, and the regular session is also coming up in March. So all our efforts are aimed at ensuring peace and facilitating peace in Afghanistan. I think it's also important for the region, which has suffered a lot due to this conflict. And we hope that soon Afghan people will find peace in their country also. It's also important that the other international community supports these efforts, because when something happens in one part of the world these days, it does not stay there. It's a globalized world. If a humanitarian crisis erupts in Afghanistan, I think soon it will start impacting the Europe and the European Union. So that's why it's important for all of us to support the efforts to bring normalcy in Afghanistan and to bring peace, and so that people could return to their normal day-to-day life.
O altă temă pe care dorim să o abordăm este cea economică, concretă, a relațiilor economice România-Pakistan, ținând cont că ultimul an fiscal, schimburile noastre comerciale au crescut în ciuda pandemiei cu peste 50%, ajungând la 100 de milioane de dolari. Ținând cont de aceste date, cum vedeți dumneavoastră această zonă a schimburilor comerciale în perioada următoare? Aveți un target? V-ați propus la ce nivel vreți să se dezvolte?
About the relationship economic and commercial, yes, we are happy. This calendar year which just finished, we ended up with a figure which is the highest in the history of Pakistan-Romania bilateral commercial relations. It's more than 100 million, 104 to be exact. When I arrived here in Romania, what we did, we conducted a kind of market research, and we estimated that at that point in time we were trading less than what the potential was, and the untapped potential at that specific moment, I'm talking about November 2020, it was like Pakistan could export double to Romania, and Romania could export 3 times what it was exporting. This was the untapped portion of the market at that specific time. And now I can share with satisfaction that we have achieved that figure. From both sides, we have covered the untapped part, and but this does not stop here. As I said, Romania has a lot of products which have a market in Pakistan. which are technology related. And Pakistan also has products which can find a direct way to Romania, because at the moment there are many products which are in Romania, but they are first imported in the Western Europe, for example, and from there, from the warehouses which are in that part of the Europe, then they are reordered by Romanian businesses, and this means that some portion of the profits they go to the middleman. What I have been doing during my travel across Romania, I have been telling Romanian companies that if they import directly within the same price, they can increase their profit margins, and this will be a win-win situation for both, because the portion which is now being taken by the middleman, it can be shared by the importers here, exporters there. Similarly, the Romanian products can also be exported directly, and for this purpose we are also working on a project to have collaboration between Karachi port and Constanza port, so that there is direct container traffic. We are working on a memorandum of understanding for collaboration between the two ports, and I hope that this trade will further increase, because there is a huge potential which we can both sides can tap in, not only in trade but also in investment. For example, we have been telling our investors that they can take advantage of the incentives offered by Romania. For example, Constanza port has a special economic zone where factories can be established and value addition can be done and then supplied to the European market. Similarly, we are telling the Romanian companies that Pakistan has this China-Pakistan economic corridor. Pakistan is located also at a location which is important from the perspective of geography also. On one side we have Western China, which is developing now. On the other side we have landlocked countries of Central Asia, and the Middle East is also near. So it's an interesting destination for expanding businesses for Romanian companies also. Some of the Romanian brands, they can find a huge market. For example, in case of supermarkets also, we have a kind of market which is still developing, and if somebody enters at this point, there are a lot of prospects for making profits. I think we both the governments and private sectors working together, a lot of opportunities exist, and we have proved that when we work together we can achieve results. As I mentioned that we have last year the highest bilateral trade between the two countries.
În cadrul acestei teme și detaliilor pe care dumneavoastră le-ați expus mai devreme, ca un element de noutate, noi dorim să vă dăm o posibilitate de a promova o companie din Pakistan. Să dați un exemplu de companie sau afacere de succes, să spuneți câteva lucruri despre companie, pe ce domeniu activează, de ce este de succes, ce produse, servicii. Ca exemplu, de fapt, e ca un exemplu de succes al afacerilor în România sau cu România, sau să dați un exemplu de companie din Pakistan care are perspective, are în vedere să investească în România sau să facă afaceri în România, sau are o importanță națională și dorește să se dezvolte la nivel internațional.
About the companies, I think probably it will not be right to give the name of the company, but one of the biggest architecture design company, recently they established an office in Pakistan, a Romanian company which is quite big in Eastern Europe. Similarly, there is a company from Pakistan which is doing business in agriculture here. There are people on both sides. I think we are going good, and we keep the momentum and we keep the thrust. And we hope to achieve more. We are not sitting back after achieving our untapped potential part. We are doing more. Recently, for example, during the visit also, we have established this trade center at the embassy also, like Romanian importers that they can actually come and see the products, touch them and see the quality before ordering. We will have samples here as a permanent exhibition kind of thing. So both sides are working together. We are working with the Romanian chamber here, all the other chambers, and the strategy we are following is the awareness and facilitation. The two things I'm focusing on and my team, that we create awareness on both sides, what opportunities exist. And then when some people have interest, we take it from there, and we never make them feel that they are alone. We get, for example, feedback from Pakistan, background checks of the companies from Pakistan side, from Romanian side. So our role as facilitator continues, because as you know, after globalization, the government's role as such in the trade is of a facilitator, to facilitate the private sector. So that is what we are focusing on.
O ultimă întrebare. Excelența voastră, domnule ambasador, am observat că faceți și ați și spus la începutul interviului că faceți multe vizite în țara noastră. Un exemplu destul de important. Ați mers de 2 ori într-o anumită zonă care este apropiată mie personal, acolo m-am născut, în acel județ, în zona transalpină, Novaci, în județul Gorj, de 2 ori chiar în acest an, anul trecut, în 2021. Ce mesaj transmiteți românilor și României? Dacă aveți ceva ce vă place mult la România și poate și un mesaj celor din zona Gorjului, Novaci, Transalpina, ținând cont că ați fost, încă o dată, repet, de 2 ori anul trecut.
Thank you. This is my favorite topic, you can say. I have been in this diplomatic service for over 20 years now, and I have traveled to a lot of countries, and I have seen a lot of people. But let me say, and I'm not saying this because I'm ambassador here and I must say good things. Believe me that I have never seen such a beautiful country, with such a beautiful landscape, with such a wonderful people. So I think when I was in Novac last time, I also spoke about this, and that when I come to the countryside, I don't feel like going back to Bucharest. I traveled, I think, half of Romania so far, and the remaining half I have planned to travel, yes. Everywhere you see a lot of beauty and a lot of wonderful people you meet, and a lot of opportunities also, which we keep conveying to back home in Pakistan, to all the business related organizations there. Whatever opportunities we see here, what they can send, what they can bring from Romania to Pakistan. And this is what I believe is one of the priority areas for our diplomacy also, and the modern diplomacy. What I say, the modern diplomacy is not much of in the hands of the government. It's private sector now, and the people now, and the universities now, they're more independent. So I go out and I reach out to people, I reach out to institutions in the countryside, in the different counties, so that we build connections between people here and back in Pakistan. I have even, we have facilitated contacts between school children, like primary school children, Romanian children and Pakistani children. So it has to be a kind of comprehensive relationship at every level, because politically at the government level we have excellent relations which exist from the beginning. We support one another on international forums. We have similarities of views on different global issues. But my mandate is as Ambassador of Pakistan to Romania, and Romania I see as a country with all its people. So that's why I go out and reach out to each and every Romanian I can. I have visited this beautiful region, Transalpina, the beautiful county Gorge, and in Gorge I was twice actually. That says also that I liked it, and I think I will be another time, because you never feel that you have seen enough of Romania. This is something which I say from my heart. It gets to you, it gets to your soul, it steals your heart, it captures the spirit. I really think it's one of the most wonderful countries which God made on this planet. This is my view, and for the people out there especially in Gorge County you mentioned, and Transalpina, and to all the people in Romania, and also Romanians living abroad, they are also part of Romania. I have love, and I wish them happiness in their homes forever. This is the message to them. And I remain available to each and every Romanian. They reach out to me. So it's like I'm home, and my family also feels like this. These are my feelings about Romania.